Hi, this is Michelle from Pixels and Twine, and in this video we're taking a look at the Notability app. So if you're new to digital note-taking, Notability is up there, in my opinion, and that of many others, in the top 3 digital note-taking apps. So the other two being GoodNotes and NoteShelf. So both in terms of the app's support, as well as its reliability, its cloud backups, and its ease of use. It really gets itself ranked up there. It's also been around quite a while. There are a lot of new apps coming on the market, but Notability is it's the first note-taking app that I was using when I went back to college years ago. I thought it was great for marking up my PDF notes, my handouts and so forth, things like that. Went on to use it at work for workplace meetings and so forth. I am using GoodNotes a little bit more these days, just I find it a little bit more on the creative side, which is more where I'm heading these days, but I would still rank Notability up there in terms of reliability and just no hesitation to recommend it. So we're going to look at importing a digital notebook, so one of the ones from my store, look at what the purpose is of that notebook, how you set it up, and some of the features of Notability. So to start with, you'll notice on the left-hand side is where everything is organized. You can click on that plus icon there to organize all of your notes into subjects and dividers. Over on the right hand side though, I'm going to click the import icon and go into my files, and this is importing this is a digital notebook that I've downloaded and saved to my iCloud drive. I'm going to create a new book from it, and I'm importing it into that tests location where I was already located. When you import a book to start with, you will usually find that you are in vertical scrolling mode. I think that when you're using interactive PDFs, you're better off to be in the swipe mode. So you can change that by going to your options, which is clicking on the 3 dots in your top right, go to view and change to single page mode. And now you're just swiping between your pages there. Okay. If you're new to digital note-taking, one of the first things you need to know is how to change between interactive mode or navigation mode and editing mode, because if you don't know the difference, you'll probably find it quite frustrating. So you've probably noticed up in the top you have the dark bar with the light blue icons. That's your menu in Notability, and I'm going to tap on the pointy finger. So that's put me into navigation mode. That means that whenever I click on a text link or one of these tabs, which is interactive, it's going to jump me to a different location, a different page location within this document. Okay, so that is interactive mode. So in terms of this notebook, this is one of my simple notebooks. There are 8 different sections which act as dividers in the notebook for you to store all of your different notes in. So the point of digital notebooks is that you usually have some templates to look at that you can copy and paste, and some different paper styles or paper colors. In this one, they're all white. So the idea is that you go through, you find the particular style of paper which is going to work for your particular needs, and then you will copy that and paste it into your intended location. Okay, in my notebooks, you'll often find I have an extras section. Personally, I use that to store any of my frequently accessed bits and pieces like my stickers. It just saves a little bit of time going back to my storage location or opening up a separate sticker book. So you can put anything you want in that particular section. So the other thing I'll just point out there is on the top right corner of the notebook, you'll see a little star icon. That's my index tab. That takes me back to my index, and on that index page you can just write down a note of what is in each of your sections there as well. Okay, so I want to grab a paper, so I'll come through and I want to choose this paper style. And to make a copy of it, or to use it, I need to copy it. So copy it into the virtual clipboard, and then I need to go to the section that I'm placing it in and paste it. To do that, the best way is to tap on your little thumbnail icon. So that in the top right, again, just toggles thumbnails on and off. You can see that we're on page 16 because it has the blue highlight around that page there. Okay, so tapping again on the three dots for options, I want to copy that page. Then I'm going to, because my finger is still selected, I'm going to go navigate to section 1. I'll move this up again. So my page divider is selected with the blue outline. I want to place that page after my lined page. So I'm going to tap on those three dots there and paste. And we'll see a new thumbnail. So I can tap on that thumbnail there to take me to the new page. If I wanted to paste another one, I can just continue on doing that. Okay. Now, it's entirely up to you whether you go through and set up your notebooks and planners from the start, or whether you just go through as needed, jump to the page or template that you need and copy and paste it at that time. So the whole idea of digital notebooks and digital note taking is that you have flexibility to create the product that works best for your needs. Okay. So that's working through those thumbnails. A couple of other things to note about those thumbnails. You can see you have 4 different icons there in that thumbnail section. At the moment, these 2 middle ones are blank. So this second one here, every time or as soon as you make some notes on a page, that is going to pop that page into the notes section. So if I go into my pencil tool, and you can see there, you can scroll through different colors, you can create custom colors, add to favorites and so forth. So you can play with your different pen sizes, pen thicknesses I should say, single thickness of your line. Oops. You also have the pressure sensitive. I'll go to a bigger thickness, so pressure sensitive if you want to be a bit crafty and create some pretty headings and so forth. So as soon as because I've made some notes on that page, if I go across to the notes section, it's automatically been added into that subsection. So it's a handy way to see, particularly if you're filling out a workbook or something like that, to be able to see where you've already worked. The other thing you can do to be able to jump to pages quickly is to tap the little bookmark icon. So any page that you bookmark will then appear in your bookmark section there. And you can simply take that off to remove them from that section. Okay, so some nice little navigation features there. I'm going to leave my mess there for the moment. So you can go through the highlighter section again. So the same thing, choose your colors, choose your thickness and so forth. Eraser. A couple of new features have been added recently to the eraser tool. So you can either erase a part in whole. So if I tap here, it will get rid of that whole piece. Or you can do a partial erase. So if I wanted to break this in the middle, it would just cut through there. Again, if I went back to whole, I now have 2 sections. So tapping there and tapping there. Again, you can play with that. The selection tool, I've got nothing to select. Oh, that's quite thick. Anyway, there's my scribble. So if I want to select that text, I can either go with a rectangular or a freehand selection. Once you've made your selection, tap in the middle. So I could copy, I could change the style, so the color and so forth of that. I could go back in and convert to text. Let's see what it makes of my scribble. See, that's really terrible writing, and I have found that Notability, I believe, is the best in terms of handwriting recognition of all of the apps that I've used. I used to do a lot of my study while I was on the train to and from work and so on, and I tell you, I could do some pretty messy writing, and it was just amazing in terms of its ability to recognize some fairly high-end scribble. So from there, you can just convert that selection to type on the page, or you can copy that text to clipboard if you wanted it to paste it into a different document. So I'll just convert that selection there. There we go. Okay, so that's a bit big. I will just drag out that corner there. So you have all of your corners to resize your text boxes, your anchor in that top center to drag it around by. You have your rotate, the little circles on the right hand edge there. If I wanted to change the formatting of that text, oops, just double click, come on, there we go. And then down the bottom, oops, sometimes it will play up with your Apple Pencil. It will be a little confused about what you want to do, so I've just dropped my Apple Pencil there. So select, and down the bottom here I can start to modify those properties. Okay, so that's obviously something that you can just play with. The other thing which is quite handy here is that you have 3 different favorite presets. If you can see the 3 hearts, the A, B, and the C. So changing to my favorite style A, B, or C. If you wanted to come in and change that from not quite as in your face pink, click and hold down. And so this is now setting new favorites, new properties for set 1, or set A, I should say. So I'll change the color, and you can scroll through a whole range of colors there. You can change everything basically, sizing and so forth. So that now if I go back to B, back to A, there's a new definition there. Okay. So they're the key features which I think make Notability a great digital note-taking app. One last feature I will share with you is that if you want to export your notebook, so whether you've completed a workbook or whether you want to share some notes with fellow students or colleagues, you can go to the share icon, and when you choose when you choose to export, you can choose between a PDF document, the Notability native format if you're sharing with someone else who uses Notability. You can export pages as images or a rich text document. Obviously, if you've done handwriting and drawings, they're not going to go into an RTF, but you do have those that variety of options there, which really do make it quite a versatile app. So the Notability team are great in terms of their resources on their website and on social media as well. So if you need any more follow-up, be sure to check them out, and you'll be able to find a lot more information that they put out to help you on your way.